Hello, my name is Tatyana Webb, and this is Off the Record, brought to you by Nana Music Productions. Today we have a lovely lady in the studio with us. Today we have Miss Shanay Prevo. She is the owner of NSYNC Productions and Management LLC. She's also a nursing student, and she is a mother. And I want to say welcome to the show. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be a part.
Yes, I will say it's wonderful to have you on the show because I feel like we're kindred spirits when it comes down to the entrepreneurship and just doing everything really. Because
Right.
it seems like it's like I keep getting the questions like, how are you doing all this stuff? And anytime I think about you, you're doing all these amazing things, and I'm just like, I'm so proud of you, girl. That's first off. But I wanted to ask, what does your company, InSync Productions, what do y'all specialize in and services that you do?
So, in sync production and management, we do social media management, just a little bit, not a whole lot, not a big broad spectrum of that. But we also do branding, we do booking management, operation management, stage management, artist production and development, and we kind of do a little bit of the corporate band and cover band as well, and creative direction for your production needs. So we're like your creative one-stop shop.
Yep. So for people listening, NSYNC Productions is basically Nana Music Productions' sister company, where we are doing about the same thing, but we basically partner with each other on stuff too. So anything that we're
Absolutely.
working on, like it's like literally you can't go wrong with either of us. So there's no
Yes.
competition, all love.
Yes.
But yeah, so okay, so like I mentioned, oh well, first of all, when we first met, I mean, we were working on a project with an artist where we were trying to take them on tour and stuff, and it was really a very interesting experience. But I'm really thankful that I got to meet you during that. I think it was in
Yes.
2019, so that
Yes.
was a while ago. But
Long time ago.
now, because Lisa Perkins, she's the president of MAMA, the Montgomery Area Musicians Association, for people who don't know. We were working on like a women's thing, and we got reconnected, and then we ended up
Yes.
working on a project for a young lady this year. So we've been kind of, touch and go with different projects, but again,
Absolutely.
we're busy, and that's kind of what we're talking about today, about that work-life balance when it comes down to, your business, your family, your
Mm-hmm.
career, your work that pays the bills, and just how we and just really anybody can work on that balance. So,
Yes.
can you walk me through like a week? Like I know you just finished nursing
Oof.
school for the semesters, but what is like a week with you over like if we dropped a pin in October, what was that like for you as on a daily or a weekly schedule?
Ooh, so a daily schedule in October. October was crazy. I ended up being sick. I ended up just doing a whole lot of other things. But a typical day, I'm waking up if I have to study about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm probably gonna go to sleep about 12 or 1 from studying because my kids' bedtime is at 8. So I try to take a little moment to debrief and just to kind of decompress. And then I wake up at 5 a.m. I study a little bit more at 6 o'clock, 6:30. I'm in the shower getting myself ready. Around 6:45, I'm waking them up, trying to get them ready, teeth brush, face wash, uniform on, and we got to be at school by 7:30. So once they're at school, I am off to school again to study more for a test or a midterm or to get ready for a lecture. And then right after school, I'm going straight to work.
Mm.
Um, and then after work, I'm about 2 o'clock. I'm leaving work, going to get my son, and then going to get my daughter right after that. And then working on client work after that, and then repeat, repeat, repeat. Not to mention if they have school activities or if we have extracurricular activities that we have to do. It could be a bit hectic, but I'm very determined that I'm going to either work now and play later, or play now and work later.
Yes.
So
Oh my goodness. I completely that's kind of my mantra too. My father, when I was starting college, like I'm talking fresh 18, right when I'm that before the very first semester of freshman year,
yeah,
my dad was like, the what is it? The choices you make now will affect the doors that are open to you in the future. So
yes,
the thing is, right now for me, since I was 18, it was always a hunger for me to work as hard as I could now, so that way when I got in my 40s, in my 50s, 60s, whatever, I could have a not necessarily a easier life, but especially one that allows for me to be able to have more opportunities and being
yes.
able to make it
Not
where
trying to catch up.
right, or trying to just sustain and just try to not
Yes,
necessarily falling behind, but it's just like I'm all check to check kind of thing. Like I want there to be
yes.
some cushion and
Stability.
yet, yes. So
Yeah,
with that,
absolutely.
so when you were talking about your day, it reminded me of what if you put a little pin in my October, because I was in the middle of classes and my final midterm kind of stuff at that time. But because for those who don't know, I'm also getting my master's right now. So we're both
Yay.
getting our masters. When I say that we are, when I say kindred spirits, I'm like, we're literally doing the same thing right now, just in different fonts.
Mm-hmm.
But but no, I was helping my family out a little bit too with my 3-year-old cousin. So every once in a while, they'll drop them off, and man, those mornings getting that baby up and trying to
Yes.
get him to school, and then
Mm-hmm.
because he's in preschool, he gets out at 1 o'clock, so I would have to then get up and go, and so I'd have those 3 hours of undivided attention before he
Mm-hmm.
got out, and then I was like, all right, you are going for a nap now. So
Right.
because I
Absolutely.
needed that extra time, but for me, I'm a single, no kids, a kind of person. And so to be brought into this almost simulation of a mom kind of thing, it was eye-opening. I call it my preparation season.
Mm-hmm.
And so to see you do it, and it's like this is your life and this is how you are working. It's a
Yeah.
blessing to be able to have the the what is it, the attention, but also like the perseverance and just the dedication to your family, your education, your
Right.
work, all that stuff. So so
Yeah.
also say is I kudos to you, and I'm just so proud of you again.
I appreciate it. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
So, okay, so we talked a little bit about your company, we talked about what your day is. So, can you tell me how you incorporated your music into this? So I know you mentioned that that's what you do with your company, with all the production needs and the social media and all the different studio work, all that stuff. So what how did music play a part in your daily life or your weekly life?
It plays a huge part. I manage an artist named Jess Jeter, who potentially at first was just like we're just best friends. And she decided that, hey, I want to do this music thing and I want to do it the right way. And she's like, that's my person. Like that's the person that's gonna manage me. That's the person that's gonna handle my business. And so initially in sync was just really an idea because I too was an artist, a performing artist in Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
I performed at BB King's, I performed at private events, corporate gigs, etc. The list goes on and on. And so I kind of already knew what um, the music business was like, but it didn't necessarily work out for me in the way that I would have preferred it to be. And so I kind of already knew like the artist needs. Before you go on the show, you want to make sure that you're clear headed and you want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you're at peace and you don't want to have to worry about if the mics work. You don't want to have to worry about if your check is there, and you don't want to have to worry about, if the band is on time and etc. And so I created this safe space. It started off with that, with this my best friend, and I did all her social media, I did all of her content, I did her production days. I treated her as if she was a mainstream artist already, and we just kind of develop over the years, and it's still a progression, but music is incorporated in my life every day because of that. I also have a group of friends called What's Up World. We call ourselves the 4 for 4, where we also do shows around Montgomery, that, you know, you can collaborate without being in competition with one another. We're all four friends. We have our own lives. We have all of our personal things going on. However, we all sing and we connect in that way. And so we do these big shows every year where we come together and we sing as a unit. And so every day we're coming up with these ideas. We're coming up with these different strategies, to incorporate music, but to incorporate our sisterhood together. So music is a everyday thing for me. Like I don't think people realize as a creative, you really don't sleep as much because
Yeah.
your mind is constantly going with ideas and different strategies that you can incorporate into your everyday life because you eat, breathe, and sleep music in some type of form. Even though I don't desire to sing as much anymore, my job is centered around music, and I still have a love for it in my heart to make sure that the artist is taken care of, in a proper manner, not just taken care of financially, but to also guard that gift because those are gifts. You can't
Yeah.
just handle them any kind of way. So it's a everyday thing with music being incorporated in my life outside of nursing, outside of being a mother, outside of being friend, outside of being, you know, the assistant and etc. etc. Like it's a big part of my life. It's a big part of my life.
Yeah. And to be able to, I, I, I say the word juggling very lightly because yes, it's juggling, but it's who we are. It's there's an
Mm-hmm.
anointing on us that God has given us that allows us to, hold all of these roles and
Mm-hmm.
look at all the different worlds that you are, literally working and like not working, but shaping. Because you've got your nursing world, you've got your family world, you've got your, your business world with music.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of these areas and facets are being influenced and affected by your anointing and what you are doing. And, and like how you said, those people saying like, you're my manager, you're my person. Like
Yeah.
the fact that people can then see that light in you and be like, I want some of that. I get that a lot too, as far as,
Mm-hmm.
how, what the artists that we work with and the different companies that we work with as well. So it's really, again, it's really great to see that you have that as well.
Yeah.
But there's also, so, okay, so we're talking about something that is natural to us. I mean, we when you said that it's constant with music, like I was just thinking back on my week and I was like, yeah, Sunday I planned things. Monday I had my team meeting. Tuesday I had my vocal
Mm-hmm.
lessons. Tonight I have worship practice. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, yeah, it's
It's a
every
lot.
day. and and that's not even talking about my classwork and all the things. And so but so for something that is natural, because again, we practice it, we've worked this out and we refined it. What are some advice or some tips that you can give to someone who it may not be as natural to them, to be able to juggle, to be able to handle all of these different areas of, not just music, or more so to say, how does someone incorporate their music into their daily and make it where it's always, I say, a priority for them to continue to grow? Like, how do they do that?
Well, first it has to be a priority for you.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something that you desire to do or something that's a part of your being or your purpose of being on earth, I think that the attention to that thing or that gift or that talent should always be priority. In some type of way, rather you're balancing your day out to, okay, I'm going to take an hour and a half to write a song, or I'm going to take an hour and a half to sing, or I'm going to take an hour and a half to just see, you know, what it is that I really want to do. You have to kind of find your own way because everybody's different.
Mhm.
But the advice that I can give is be consistent and be persistent with whatever gift that God pretty much trusted you with. And if that's a part of your purpose and a part of your being, then make time for it. Make time to improve in certain areas. Make time to improve yourself, to stretch your capacity, to learn more, to do more. One of the things that I don't take lightly is that, and you said it kind of earlier, is that this is not just a occupation or a job, but this is literally an anointing on my life that I didn't necessarily choose. And
Mhm.
so the one thing that I learned to do was embrace that. Like at first it was chaotic for me because I'm like, I have all these gifts, all these talents, but how do I put energy into one thing when everything is like calling me at one time? Like, how do I do that? And the one thing I remember doing is praying and asking God to give me the strategy, give me the plan to help me navigate through that season of my life. And I embrace that you're gifted for this. Like it doesn't matter if you don't accomplish one thing right now. It may happen along the way, but you're consistent, your persistence towards that thing that I've predestined you to do. If you continue to do that, I'll do the rest. Like he'll do the rest for you. And also just having a village, a community. I have many people in my community that push me to the utmost. And even if that's not me pushing myself, if I'm pushing them, that's still pushing me in a way. And so my community, having people in your ear that can encourage you when you feel like I can't do this today. Like I don't feel like singing a song. I don't feel like I have the team. I don't feel like I have all the people that I need around me to help me make this big dream in my head come into reality. But if you have people that are around you to encourage you and to push you forward, 9 times out of the 10 in due season, you're reap.
I couldn't say that better than you. I mean, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You hit on a few of my kind of like daily practices when that
Mm-hmm.
comes down to it. And like for example, you said in my words, but be intentional. Like you
Intentional.
have to be intentional with it. You have if this is something that you want to do, you've got to make the space for it and do it, which
Mm-hmm.
also falls in line with not lying to yourself. That's part of the integrity of what you're doing for yourself, not necessarily
Absolutely.
for other people. So, to be intentional and to have integrity for yourself, that is like, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym at 5 a.m. or I'm going to eat right, I'm drink water, and those are just,
Mm-hmm.
health practices, but I am going to spend an hour working on this song or working on this XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go to these rehearsals on time or I'm going to show up on time. Things like that. Like those are intentional actions that you have to plan and you have to make sure that you hold, you
Yourself
take care of.
accountable.
Another thing was, like how you said, the consistency, and having the community. So, but on a daily practice thing, I'm encouraging listeners, if you struggle with time management, if you struggle with, having that, like getting started or just not knowing what to do,
Mm-hmm.
I encourage you either the night before or the morning of, you take that 5-10 minutes and you plan out your day. And you don't just plan out your day like you just write it down. It's like, okay, this is it. But I encourage you to kind of take a moment to breathe, put some relaxing music, whatever, and just recenter yourself, ground
Mm-hmm.
yourself. If you have the time and have the capacity to do it, go outside and put your feet in some grass. Like just, just get yourself, in a place where you're able to get yourself grounded.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is obviously prayer. Anything you were saying this a little bit ago, but you should take everything to God. I
Mm-hmm.
talk to God too much, and that's not enough at all. Because I mean, whenever I have a thought, whenever I have something going on, I immediately throw it up to God, and
Yeah,
that also helps
absolutely.
with the anxiety and the anxiousness and stuff like that too, because it's like, okay, all these butterflies that I'm having in my body, I'm sending that to God. It's like God
Hmm.
said He wants that, so I'm gonna give it to Him. So,
Right.
so that helps with the recentering yourself too. So when you're in that recentering, pray and just have that centering session. After that, that's when you bring in that intention and that integrity to what
Hmm.
you're going to do, and then you push through it. If you have 3 things on your list that you know you have to get done today, you do everything you can to get it done today. If you
Absolutely.
have the other 5, 7, 10 things, it's like that's just icing on the cake. But the thing is, if something doesn't work out, if something doesn't go according to plan, well, understand that you did your best work. You did the best that you could, and now everything is to God. So now He controls that.
Hmm.
But the next day or the next opportunity is when you either go straight for it and you try again, or if God tells you, it's like, hey, that was it, and let
Yeah.
it go. Because sometimes people hold on to things a little too long too. So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
but I'm getting into my
Absolutely.
preachy. So I'll digress on that part. But okay, so is there anything else that you'd like to share with the listeners about that work-life balance that we haven't touched on? Because I am completely blanking on my final topic that I wanted to talk about.
Not necessarily. I think the main thing is one of the things that I do with my artists is I try to make sure that when you're dealing with certain gifts and certain talents, you have to hold them gently.
Mm,
And so when I work with my artists, or even when I'm with my sisters and we're about to get ready to do something, one of the things that we do is kind of like what you said. We try to recenter ourselves, decompress. Um, it's very important to do that because if not, as you said, you begin to get anxious and you begin to think too far into things. You begin to overthink. And I'm guilty of this. I'll talk myself out of certain things. If I don't want to do it and I feel like, I'm just not there mentally and I can't give it my 100%, I feel like I'm a perfectionist in a way because
mm,
if I can't do it the way I seen it and the way that I feel it,
mm.
you count me out. But
Yeah.
when I recenter myself and I take a step back and say, hey, this is not really about me. This is about what I'm supposed to put in the earth. And so, in a way, this is an assignment. Just
Mm,
like school, this is an assignment. So I gotta put my feelings and my emotions to the back burner in order to fulfill the assignment. So don't forget why you're doing this, why you're in music, why are you writing the songs, why are you being the producer, why are you being the manager and the CEO of the company. Like, what is your why? Remember
mm.
why you're doing this because it's an assignment, and if you can't carry out that assignment, then you're not doing your due diligence to the earth.
Yeah,
So
don't worry about the how because God's got the how. He'll
yeah.
he'll he'll lead you in those steps because I mean, I think I can speak for both of us is, we'll plan something and we'll have it to the T. And then it happens and it doesn't happen exactly how we planned it. And it's like, and so God is the one in control when it comes to and
Trying to tell
letting
you,
that go.
releasing
That's a whole other
control.
story. Right, right. Just being, being intentional, but also if things don't go the right way, then hey, it's God's way and it's all
Yeah.
okay. But again, that's a whole other story. But okay, so thank you so much for today. If someone wants to get in contact with you for InSync Productions and just trying to, get a consultation and, or a service done, how can they get in contact with you?
You guys can reach me on all social media platforms at Insync Production and Management. That's Facebook, that's Instagram, or you can just go to my website at insynctoday.net and you can fill out the consultation form and we can get right to you.
That's fantastic. And if someone wants to follow you on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at Shanay Prevo. That's Shanay, last name Prevo, Prevo.
And if you haven't heard her sing, oh my Lord, you are missing out. So go stalk her page, do whatever you need to do to
Not
get a little
stalk my
bit,
page.
become a supporter and a fan and a follower. Sure. Well, thank you so much. If you like what you've heard today, you can follow the podcast at Nana Music _ off the record. You can also follow the company at Nana Music Productions, or you can follow me at webb.tatyana M on Instagram. And just remember, this podcast was off the record.
Record.